Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America chart talk on the 4th of June at 12 o'clock in the morning London time. The chart in front of us is August Brent 60-minute. The key to this morning's action has been totally the activity around the 5-day moving averages, both on the outright price on the contracts and on structure. However toppy structure may be looking at the moment, and it is looking a little toppy, 5-day moving averages are holding, and whilst the 5-day moving averages hold, it's a brave man that starts to go short because they have a habit of keeping the instruments resilient. If the 5-day moving averages start to fail, that's another kettle of fish, and we will probably be heading lower to the 8-day moving averages. But across the board at the moment, and we'll see that with the charts, the 5-day moving averages are holding. And at the same time, the key to the next leg higher, if we're to get one, is both the 5-day moving averages holding and the bull-bear pivots being taken out, and they're all resistance at the moment. The bull-bear pivots are the 50% correction points of yesterday's action, and whilst we're below them, the theory is the bears are slightly in control of the market. That's fine, but equally the 5-day moving averages are holding. If we move above them, then the bears scatter and we rally. That's the theory. Now, if just looking at this August Brent 60-minute, we've moved pretty much sideways from yesterday, but these two stochastics, the 9 and 21 period, are suggesting upside into the US Open morning. So we would expect the market to firm a little from now for a few hours. Looking at RBOB, jury out, it's got a positive stochastic, looks like it's going to push higher too. So let's just have a look at the contracts one by one. WTI, perfect holding of the 5-day moving average, a little red line here so far. It comes in at 36.35. Our low so far has been 36.38. So the 5-day moving average is holding so far. The bull bear pivot comes in at 37.03. The high's been 37.08. So we pulled away from the bull bear pivot. So long as the 5-day holds, despite a negative and high stochastic, it's what happens at the 5-day that counts. If the 5-day holds, no downside. If we breach the 5-day, then the odds are $1 south to the 8-day at 35.33. If we take out the bull bear pivot at 37.03, then the chances are that we will push on higher and put the 37.64 level under pressure on the 100-day at 37.60. So watch the 5-day moving average like a hawk and keep an eye on the bull bear pivot at 37.03. They're both very relevant. August Brent. 5-day moving average comes in today at 39. We've made a low at 39.04. The bull bear pivot comes in at 39.65. We've made a high at 39.74. So those two guides are pretty useful. No downside while the 5-day moving average holds. If it fails, then look for a move of around $1 lower to 37.90 area, the 8-day moving average. If we take out the bull bear pivot at 36.95, 39.65, and we also take out the CP at 39.83, we've got renewed upside. Uptrends hold 5 and 8-day moving averages, and we're holding those at the moment. Heating oil, it's held the 5-day moving average around 105.64. The low's been 105.53. We're still below the bull bear pivot at 107.71, and we're still below this range level at 107.12. There's more upside required and more effort. Worryingly, although the stochastic is positive, were it to flip negative here, that's a bit premature, we would have bearish divergence. So be a little bit careful. This contract's more vulnerable than the rest, but whilst it holds the 5-day at 105.65, it's okay. Gasoline is the only contract above its bull bear pivot, which comes in at a 111.35. We're printing 112.05. If we stay above there, there's a reasonable chance it's an early warning signal for the rest. Nevertheless, it's holding beautifully the 5-day moving average at 110.07. It's made a low at 110.53, not really challenged it too much. And once the 110.07 area holds, the 5-day moving average, no downside. Were it to fail it from the 5-day, then we would probably get downside to about 107.65 area, the 8-day moving average. So as you can see, it really is a matter of the 5-day moving average is holding very well today. The 5-day's not even been tested on gas oil, and if it can claw its way above 307.50, there's a reasonable chance of a test of the bull bear pivot at 312.50.75. It's in reasonable shape, it doesn't look too challenged, and gas oil will probably follow the rest. Now, if we just look at a little bit of structure on Brent, Here, the 5-day moving average on Aug SEP at minus 17 is holding. It is just below the 5-day moving average on the SEPOC. The 5-day moving average comes in at minus 25. So both these are looking a little bit toppy, but the hourly charts on both here are suggesting some upside. So use Aug SEP's minus 17 as a key barometer. As long as that holds no downside, were it to be breached, the downside would be to minus 28. And at the moment, whilst on the SEPOC below minus 25, it looks as if it could go to minus 34. It's only 2 cents below the 5-day at the moment. And if we look at front-end TI, toppy, but whilst the 8-day holds on July Aug at minus 34, no downside. And even if it did, the downside would be limited to minus 40 at the moment, which is the 13-day moving average on the July Aug. Negative stochastic isn't great, but we've seen negative stochastic before in the market go up. Whereas the Aug SEP is holding the 5-day at minus 32 very well. It's printing minus 31. There's no real downside unless it began to fail at minus 37, the 8-day moving average. And the back-end structure on WTI, holding the 5-day at minus 244, no downside whilst that 5-day holds. Breach of that would suggest 20 cents lower to the 8-day at minus 267. And the Decred Deck on Brent is holding the 5-day perfectly at minus 346. And only a move and close below there would take us down to minus 365. So you can see the 5-day moving averages across the board are very important today. They breached in a couple of front-end spreads, but that's it. The flat price is holding. Watch the 5 days very carefully indeed. They really are momentum indicators of an uptrend, and this uptrend could easily kick in. It's kicked in every time before when it's looked bad at around the 5 and 8-day moving averages. So there's form here. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.